my name is Megan Russell.
And my name is Christopher Russell, and welcome back to Page by Page, writing the book in real time, and welcome back, voice, a little bit, kinda. It's on its way back just in time for me to go scream. After we record this, I'm immediately going to the horror makeup show at Universal Orlando, and where I scream. But I'm going to try to find healthier ways to scream. There are ways of doing it. Follow me for more advices on what not to do. More advices? I'm doing well.
It's going to be a great episode today. We're doing well.
Look, once again, brain fried because of Con. Which was fun. Which was really fun.
Yeah, we were at Tampa Bay Comic-Con all weekend. I was on 10 panels.
Yeah, no booth. This is the first
booth.
time we've been to a Comic-Con where you weren't actively selling.
I know. It was weird to not be in Artist Alley. I was in the much quieter part of the con. I mean, the panel hallways were pretty packed, but compared to the show floor where it's just all the time, it was nice to have a little more space to breathe. And I got to actually spend more time talking to other authors there, which was very cool because I don't usually get to talk to the other authors very much unless we're right next to each other. No,
yeah, it's true. And I feel like most of the other authors that were on panels also did not have booths. They were just there talking. It was a very different side of things. And I do want to talk a little bit more about the individual panels later because there were some fun moments. But first and foremost, I'd like to introduce the beer of the week. My gosh, I actually remembered what it's called. This is Sunrunner from Coppertail Brewing, which if you were listening last week, I think I mentioned the brewery, but that's where Unholy is from. And we love Unholy. It's one of our favorite beers.
I love this one because it kind of has fleckies in it.
Yeah, it's kind of hazy, but it's not an IPA. Cheers.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. I forget what this technically...
summery.
Yeah, I forget what it technically is, but it's very fruit forward, but not in a sour way. And it's got a very clean finish, almost like a Hefeweizen kind of. You know, don't you think?
Hefeweizen.
Yeah. Why did I just go Irish to say that? That's a German beer. Okay.
Because Irish is what you do for Titanic.
It is.
So used
but Irish and German are nowhere near the same anyway.
I know, but it's just what you're used to slipping into.
It is what I'm used to. Here, let me slip into something a little more comfortable. And by comfortable, I mean my Irish accent. Thank you very much. Should I just do the entire podcast?
No, but I'm kind of wondering. So here's the thing.
Okay.
I feel like I can taste words right now. I'm so tired from coffee.
Taste words.
So I don't know if I trust myself to give an accurate previously on.
Oh boy, I can't wait. Everybody get whatever you're drinking, whether it be juice or absolutely not. No, this is as I've said before, this is gold. We're going.
I was just trying to think through it. And I was
if you need to pause and get yourself a beverage, we can turn this into a little game, be it non-alcoholic or with the booze. So go ahead, pause and go get that. Unless you're driving, don't drink and drive. Okay, now that you've gotten that, welcome back. Okay, babe, why don't you give us a previously on?
I know this has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
I want a gas station slushie so badly right now. Doesn't that sound good?
No, I've never really, when I was a kid, I enjoyed them. But
doesn't it sound good in this moment?
No, not to me, but I'm glad it sounds good to you. Okay, let's delve into this. Are you a Coke slushie person or a blue?
No, I want a red slushie.
You want a So you want a red Slurpee kind of?
Yes, I want a red Slurpee.
Like a 7-Eleven. All right.
Yes, I want a 7-Eleven red Slurpee or a root beer Slurpee.
Ooh. It's important to note that we are 7-Eleven is not one of our advertisers, so we are not saying go out and get Slurpees. But
now I really want a Slurpee.
Now, okay.
How did we devolve? I think we devolved to this point because I have post-con brain and I'm like,
post-con brain is a thing too. It is a thing. Yeah.
That's where my brain is.
Yeah. Okay. So are you ready to give us your weird version of whatever this is going to be for the previously on? Oh, did we actually? Yeah, we did. Cheers with the beer. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay. Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
Hey, you got the title right.
I know, that's improvement. We spent a chapter with the Watcher where we discovered that they are, in fact, a native to Laureldale. They are in town. Before that, Oh wait, was that the last episode or the one before?
That's what I'm not sure. No, that was the one before. Last episode was actually where they're back at Kate's and she's having a fallout with Kate.
So last episode, previously on. I told you this wasn't gonna go off. Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf. After the ill-fated food truck fest, Ella and the gang is back at Kate's. Kate brings Ella up to the library to question Ella about what exactly she saw before the bandstand roof collapsed. They fall out once again, and Ella returns to the comfort of her friends. Before they crash that night, Paige, who's having a slumber party with Ella, college dorm style, asks what exactly Ella sees in heaven, and Ella doesn't quite answer.
Yeah, which I'm still a little bit upset with her about.
I feel like that was accurate, though. Did I get it?
Accurate. Yeah,
it took me
so.
2 tries.
I think so. I think it's worth noting that before they go into the Evan thing, Paige does go, "Hey, why did you run?" And all of a sudden the thing collapsed. Like, what was that about? And she went, "Can you promise to keep a secret?" I was thinking of my friend Cassie, who's always popping the hip.
No. The story was that she ran for the bandstand before the roof collapsed because her friend Cassie was a dancer and she freaked out and panicked and thought that she was in a different town and she was supposed to be going to see Cassie.
Yeah. But did Cassie have a habit of popping the hip? I think she did. Probably. Okay. Great. Very nice.
I actually feel like that was pretty good.
I think that went pretty well.
I actually feel like all of it was relevant.
Yeah, I think it was great. Do you want to go ahead and just, take over reading the chapter too? I think that would be hilarious. No.
Do you want me to try?
No, I do not.
See how far I can get?
No, actually, I do not. That said, are we ready to get into the chapter?
We are.
I think we're ready.
Oh, and for my new friends who I just met at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, if this is your first time with Page by Page and you're like, I don't like spoilers, I want to start from the very beginning, then all you have to do is hop on back to season 1, episode 1 to start the Laureldale season the Laureldale series from the very, very beginning with chapter 1 of Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer. If you're like, nope, I want to jump right in, well then come on for the ride. Welcome. Okay. Now
also, just in case it's in any way confusing, because we didn't want to lose everybody who had been with us since 2019 with the oh gosh, what did it used to be called?
A Book and a Dream.
A Book and a Dream. My goodness, so sorry. But back when we were A Book and a Dream and it was Megan's podcast solely, a very, very different vibe. Great episodes. But if you are specifically here for Laureldale, you're going to notice it's a difference in image. And also it will say chapter 1, Welcome to Laureldale. So that's where you're going to want to start. And I'll go ahead and include that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Just to make it easy. Okay. And with that, hopefully, if you don't want spoilers, you're gone by now. Get out of here, you. If you do want spoilers, then hey, you know what? Welcome aboard. So with that all said, I now invite you to sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy this cozy mystery. I'm kidding. It's not cozy. There's nothing about this that's cozy. Am I rambling? I'm rambling. Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf. Laureldale, Book 2 by Megan O. Russell. Chapter 6. BFD. I've never been a huge fan of Monday mornings, but the first Monday back at school after being kidnapped has an extra unique layer of fucked up suckage. Fucked up suckage made worse by how fucking hard I fought to toss myself into the brutal gauntlet of stairs in the corridors at Laureldale High School. Kate had been spot on with the leak about Clara's remains being identified. Not that I'd found out from her. Kate had pretty much dodged me all weekend like a fucking coward. The coward left to talk to the Nicolix before Paige, Jason, and I woke up Saturday morning, and I didn't see her again until the grand Sunday night. I'm telling you, I'm going the fuck back to school tomorrow, and there's shit you can do about it in front of my human friends, because if you can use them to keep me from being able to ask important Ethereum questions about everything that's been going on since no one has told me fucking anything, and I was the one who got fucking kidnapped, so I definitely deserve some fucking answers, then I can use them to cockblock all your supernatural reasons for wanting to keep me away from school, because you may be new to this parenting thing and need to quote books at me if you can't outright avoid me, but I've been surrounded by hyper-protective adults my whole life, fucker, so suck on that shit, noob. No, I found out the Clara news had leaked when Paige's, Jason's, and Sydney's phones all started blowing up. After a lot of tense eye contact and whispers between the human trio I pretended not to notice, Paige broke the news, Sydney comforted me, These things happen in the mountains. Poor Clara probably didn't know how dangerous the slopes around Laureldale can be. A very helpful way of confirming the Clara leak hadn't included the tiny detail of her having been murdered, which is fucking bullshit, but we'd reached the milestone of the cops admitting who the bones belonged to, and Sheriff Fuckface is an idiot, so maybe he needed more time to understand the big words in the coroner's report. Jason went shallow, I guess. Saying comforting things, barely losing to Paige at chess, laughing at all the right times when our soggy game of croquet ended with both Sydney and Paige ass-planting in the mud. But his smile didn't crinkle the corners of his eyes. He only ate one plate of the ridiculously good food Andre's parents sent over for dinner, and I know this is fucking awful of me to have even fucking noticed, he lost his Ella orbit. Not constantly aware of my location, ready to catch me if my knees buckled. Not tuned in to hear my breath hitch when a vision tried to drag me under. I hoped I knew what had him empty and cut off. Not because Jason's coming self-detonation wouldn't be painful, because he was too good a person to deserve a 1-2 punch from the cosmos. Not that deserve matters when it comes to pain or disaster. Jason stayed shallow through Sunday. I gave him a little nudge to maybe go home, rest up for the school week, meaning go home, take a moment to worry about your brain instead of mine, punch your fuckface father a few times for me while you're there. But even sans Ella orbit, he wouldn't leave. Just ran his clothes through Kate's washer, slept on the way too small for him couch, had coffee made before Paige and I made it out of my room Monday morning, and drove the three of us to school. He kept right behind Paige and me, back in bodyguard mode, as we crossed the parking lot and headed through the front door. Heads swiveled, a wave of faces turning toward me as they caught the scent of tragedy's arrival. Whispers rushed through the corridor, most of them too quiet for me to hear, but a few voices punched above the rest, meant to reach me. Choice comments included, "Holy shit, she came back," followed closely by, "That's $200 to me, fucker." I also enjoyed, "She's fucking cursed! She's inviting bad spirits into school!" Inaccurate, but I understand and can agree with the sentiment. And, "I can't believe they made her come back already." I might have bothered correcting the poor girl. This was a huge fucking improvement to being Kate's captive, but I was too busy trying not to make eye contact with the gawkers while searching the horde for the two faces I really needed to find. Sydney and Andre joined our trio at the turn to reach my locker. Lovely to see them. Truly appreciated them beefing up my escort, not the two I sought. A heavy layer of worries settled over my lungs, making breathing a much tougher task as my locker came into view and there was no angry blonde wolf waiting for me, just loitering students seizing their chance to glimpse the tragedy-plagued orphan / kidnapping victim / freak show. Paige leaned close to me. "I felt a little bad not giving your locker some welcome back decorations, but I think it ended up being a good thing." I wrinkled my nose and nodded. A spark of fear added to the weight smothering my lungs as I reached for my locker and had no fucking clue what the hell the combination might be. 17237 was back in Eli, but was 2015 for this school or the one in Colorado? 9592? No, wrong format. Fuck, think, Ella. Keep fucking calm, Ella. If I'd known there'd be such a crowd, I would have brought the list of students who still haven't claimed their cleanup day assignments. Sydney spoke straight to the gawkers. 9/22/14. Yes? Fuck. Probably. I tried it. I failed. "Beatrice, you're at the top of my missing assignment list," Sydney said. "And there's no way in hell you're getting out of cleanup day again. And yes, it's already been brought to the teacher liaisons, and they agree. Bobby, Mia, you're on my list too. Should I just add you both to compost pickup?" Someone snickered. "Anyone else want to move over to the compost team?" Sydney scanned the crowd. "Only takes a quick click, and I am so happy to do it." The edges of the horde trickled away, easing the searing of the stairs broiling the back of my neck. 2461? Yes, feels right. "In fact, anyone who hasn't turned in their assignment request by end of school today will be on the community compost pickup team," Sydney said. I twirled the dial, 2461, and the lock clicked open. Fuck yeah. "Spread the word to anyone you like," Sydney said as I swung open my locker door and an accordion-folded piece of pink and white paper fluttered out, drifting toward the floor. In that moment, my brain super fucking inconveniently chose to lean toward, wonder what that is, rather than something's falling, better fucking catch it. I didn't even reach for the paper, just let Jason oh so helpfully grab it for me. He did a perfect double take, his eyes flicking down to the paper as he began extending his arm, passing the paper to me, his gaze then shifting up to my face for a split second before plummeting right back to the paper. The color in his face vanished. I turned, ready to catch him, but instead of falling, he froze, a pale statue exquisitely representing shock and fear. Because I'm me, not sure if it's an I've been through shit thing or an Etherean thing, my mind leapt straight to death threat, strangely printed autopsy report detailing the horrors of Clara's demise, or proof that I'm one of several non-human students roaming the school. Fuck, breathe, Ella. I peeled apart the insides of my lungs, forcing air down, playing it cool, waiting, giving Jason a chance to hand over the paper rather than snatching it away. Dumb fucking move. Sydney leaned closer to Jason, looking at the death threat / Etherean alert. Her brow pinched, her eyes filling with something between abject terror and pity as she looked up at me. I grabbed the fucking paper, flipping it to the side that had stunned both Jason and Sydney, understanding the shock value as soon as I turned it over. A 1-to-1 ratio, photorealistic pregnancy test, and the bold printed words, "Instructions for use," filled the entire visible portion of the page. Huh. Super helpful first thought as my lungs expanded of their own free will and my heart slowed. What a funny thing to find. I flipped the paper back over, searching for a scrawled note I might have missed, or any fucking way the pink and white paper might relate to me. What is it? Paige peered over my shoulder, placing her mouth close to my ear as she gave a tiny gasp. Oh shit, that's for a pregnancy test! The voice came from across the hall. Was that good enough?
I can accept that acting choice.
All right, excellent. You'll understand why I asked that in just a second. Thank you for bearing with me. Oh shit, that's for a pregnancy test. The voice came from across the hall. I spun toward the voice, giving the front row of spectators a great look at the life-size pregnancy test pic on the paper. Like a plopped stone, a rush of whispers rippled back into the crowd. But the voice had come from farther away than the front row of gaping students. Oh my word, it is. Wow. Etherean. Ella, let's get your books. That explains some shit. I ignored the chatter, fixating on the simplest answer for how someone had managed to catch a clear glimpse of the pregnancy test image from across a hall filled with shifting students. Couldn't be Violet or Caleb. The Harpy freshman? Nope. Haley Harper, arm in arm with her bestie Beatrice, both wearing victorious grins. 1, 2. It took me 3 whole seconds to connect their grins to the brewing storm of gossip, but 0 seconds for laughter to burst out of me, not giving me time to consider other, less memorable options. Ella? A hand grabbed my arm, not hard, decisive. How about we head to the bathroom? Are you serious? I spoke through my laughter, keeping my attention fixed on Haley and Beatrice as I held the paper in the air. Is this your version of vengeance? Let's just go. The hand on my arm gave a hint of a tug, trying to get me to move. I have no idea what you're talking about, Ella. Haley gave a pouty frown. Pregnancy test instructions in my locker. I shooed the gawkers out of the path between me and the wannabe villain. Is that how you're going to... I turned back to Jason, who still looked like he'd just seen a demon. Fucking ruin me, right? That was the threat? I don't make threats. Haley's eyes glinted with the sureness of her success as the first bell rang and a few of the horde skittered away to spread word of the tragic girl with the pregnancy test. The vague awareness that I should be angry couldn't touch the brilliant humor as I imagined messaging my mother about the little human trying to be a badass and my mom sending LOL, weak-ass try from a dumb fuck, take care of it yourself, send dad. I sighed through my laughter. That's an easy one, Mom. I finished unfolding the shoulder-width instructions with a nice, loud thwap as I walked the mini Gawker gauntlet to reach Haley. See, there's no way in fuck this can be mine. I held the instructions out to Haley like a used tissue. I was born sterile, fuckface. Gasps peppered the rumble of chatter in the crowd, but what the fuck did I care, since most Ethereans don't learn enough about Sibyls to know we're all born that way. Theoretically meant to keep seers from placing the good of their children above the good of Anyway, why did I snap? Screw it. That can stay in. Gasps. I'm not perfect. Gasps peppered the rumble of chatter in the crowd, but what the fuck did I care, since most Etherians don't learn enough about Sibyls to know we're all born that way. Theoretically meant to keep seers from placing the good of their children above the good of the Etherian people, generally used as a reason for seers to be kept as the perfect ruler's mistress. Spawn-free fucking and fortune-telling in one? What a package. Either way, fucking fine by me, since Sibyl lifespan/sanity clocks don't really have seeing your kid grow up potential. My useless uterus and I will never have a reason to pee on a stick, but you should keep this. Put it back with the rest of the kit. I waggled the oversized paper. You paid good money for that pregnancy test. Might as well save it for the next time you need one. Ooh. The anonymous vocal cringe brought delight to my jaded soul. I tossed the instructions at the thoroughly fuming Haley, giving the paper a little loft, expecting it to drift to the ground between us. But it didn't. It froze, just hanging midair. I tried to lift my foot, wanting to crush my own toes, but I couldn't move. It had happened too fast. I was already inside the vision where the air pulsed with panic. Panic radiating from the only person who hadn't disappeared from the hall. Haley. Just Haley, the hovering paper, and Evan. Haley's panic battered my chest, trying to shatter my ribs with every slam. Accepting my responsibility does not require forgiving you. It wasn't panic streaming from Evan, and it didn't come in waves. Like he'd become his own science fair plasma ball, strings of sparking red light flowed from his body, feeding the shield that surrounded him like a cocoon of Kate-level loathing. Fuck, air. I have no air. What else do you want from me? Acid green tears tumbled down Haley's cheeks. Nothing. Breathe. Evan, please. You don't deserve pity or redemption, and I'm an idiot for not seeing it sooner. You don't mean that. The pulses of Haley's panic sped up, like a heartbeat racing out of control, crashing into my chest too hard to let my lungs fucking work. Pull yourself out, Ella. Yes, I do. Evan's tendrils of light blackened, darkening the shield around him, hiding everything but the revulsion in his eyes. I made a horrible mistake and fucked a despicable person. One mistake, and now I get to spend the rest of my life protecting my kid from you. You can't just keep hating me. Haley's shout burst into thousands of acid green shards, blasting through the hall, slashing through the hovering paper, shredding my face, bouncing uselessly off Evan's shield with tinny ping-ping-pings. My body longed to scream at the blazing sting of my torn flesh, but my lungs still couldn't fucking expand. Make them, Ella. You destroyed every other choice. Evan's darkness covered his eyes, leaving Haley sobbing, staring into a shroud of impenetrable black. Breathe and fucking leave, Ella. Evan, please! Another blast of shards freshened the pain. Air. You need fucking air, Ella. I tried to force my lungs to expand, but it wouldn't fucking work. Fuck. Please! Haley fell sobbing to her knees. The paper fell with her. Air punched into my lungs. The corridor swayed, but Evan's dark shield had disappeared, replaced by a pair of filming freshmen. And Haley was back on her feet, glaring at me with that special kind of hatred that comes from being the cause of humiliation. Someone behind me started a slow clap. Fuck. I tried to think beyond fuck, but the clapping spread and the noise fractured my thoughts into tiny fuck-shaped splinters. Fuck. Do you know what's going to happen when your new car smell wears off? Haley stepped closer to me. Beatrice didn't try to stop her. Fuck. Haley, listen to me, I whispered, pointing down at the instructions that took up the narrow distance between us. You need that test. Fuck. Once all the boys have taken their joyride, just pee on a fucking stick, Haley. Oh, fuck, too loud. My shout rang out over the crowd. Fuck. Calls of, oh shit, and fuck yeah, broke through the clapping that had become full-on applause. Fuck. Ella. A hand on my back and a hand on my arm, not comforting, steering. You dumb little... A blonde wall stepped between Haley and me, so I missed the rest of what she said, but what she said didn't matter. No. Fuck. Oh, big fuck. Big fuck. What is happening in my hallway? Very big fucking important things, but my steerer moved faster. Which was bad because I had to say something of much, very big, much fucking mattering. Fuck. I realized Paige was steering me. I realized she was steering me to homeroom. I remembered I was supposed to be looking for Violet and Caleb. I even knew that when Tessa said, "Welcome back, Ella," smiling and saying thanks was the correct action. But my brain was stuck on the big fucking deal. Hereby abbreviated to BFD, which works as Big Fuck of Doom, Botched Fuck Drama, or Best to Fuck Discerningly Lest Thou Knockest Up a Wretched Viper. That I didn't realize why there was an extra little, oh fuck not good going on in the back of my brain until the bell rang, the seat by the window stayed empty, and I realized the giant blonde-shaped wall hadn't followed us to class. Neither had Haley. Oh, shitty, fuck. "Happy Monday, class," Mrs. Parker said. I looked to the front of the room where she stood beside the board, pointing to 3 triple-underlined star-flanked words. Field Day Friday. And fuck turned to, well, shit. Note, Sybil is sterile. And that ends the chapter. Have we ever had a one-line Watcher scene?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have.
Not to my memory, but the brain
injury,
bashing.
Yeah, sure, the brain bashing.
My memory isn't the best.
Yeah. Okay. So how? Do you want me to stop asking how you feel about the chapter? Does it just make you like completely uncomfortable?
It gives me a rash.
Okay.
You give me a stress rash.
Okay. So
more directed questions would probably be less rash worthy.
That's fine. Okay. So let me get back up to the top of my my thing right here. So first of all, I really enjoyed that chapter. Megan finished it, and then we actually did a little bit differently this time because we were kind of in a little bit, not a time crunch, but Megan wanted to make sure that she had the chapter like ready for me before we went to Tampa Bay Comic-Con because it is a 3 to 4 hour long trip.
Started
that your brain was going to go.
My brain was going to go blah, and like productive writing was going to go out the window.
Yeah.
So I had to have the chapter ready sooner than usual. So I was paranoid about making sure that I hadn't like done anything weird. Right.
And so this chapter actually lengthened a little bit because Megan was like, how does this, do you think this flows okay? And she almost she was like, should I take out the little Watcher scene at the end? And I was like, hell no. That's great. I love that entry.
Well, because you didn't realize.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, because I had said to him.
I was going to talk about that later, but go ahead.
I had said when I emailed the chapter over, I was like, I'm not sure if you're going to make me cut the last line.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I like the last line. It brings it back to the well shit at the end of the last book.
And Megan goes, that's not the last line.
That's not the last line.
And I went, what? And then I reread it and I went, oh.
Yes, that there is that like one line Watcher chapter.
I was like, oh shit.
That's the last line where I was like, are you going to let me leave that in? Yeah. Or not.
Yeah. I love that you give the illusion that I have any say over what you're really doing.
Well, no, because that is kind of a rude ass thing to do. So if you were like, no, that's too mean, that's like is too big a like yeah. You can't do that, then I was going to go with your opinion, because if it was going to make people like toss iPhones, I don't want to cause that amount of property
just
damage.
Just throwing the phone out the window. No. I think it's great. I think it's fascinating, and I'm really worried about what the Watcher's going to do with that particular information. I'm like, oh shit, like what? How is this going to affect the story moving forward? And I'm very excited to see. So going back towards the beginning of the book, we have her realizing that the news is dropping about Clara. And so it kind of leads us into thinking, well, that's going to be the drama of this chapter. And then Haley comes along. But before we even get to that, my favorite was, holy shit, she came back. That's $200 to me, fucker. And then what did you say about the bet?
That it's an ongoing bet. Because the first book, it's like, she came back, and people are like, holy fuck. So this time, it's like, she's gone again. There's no way in fuck she's coming back.
It's like, I bet you $200.
$200 she comes back.
And so she does. So what's going to happen?
Next time it's going to be $300.
I can't believe. First of all, how do these kids have that much money? Are there any private schools in Laureldale, or is it just literally all one?
It's just one school.
Okay,
you would have to go
explains it
farther. You would have to go down the mountain.
Yeah, like, I mean, you see Andre, and Andre's parents clearly have money.
Well, because they have a very good local school system. This is like one of those places where you have an expensive house because of the local school system.
Oh my God, wait, are they actually also paying their teachers a fair wage?
Yeah.
Man, this really is a fantasy. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead and talk about
So I
this.
wanted to pick a locker combination for Ella's locker that wouldn't be a pain in the ass for me to like have to remember again. And I didn't want to use a number from my life because all of those are taken up in my internet password. So like I can't really use those.
Right.
That's not secure.
No.
So I pulled one from music theater and I pulled 2461.
Which, if you were to insert a 0 in there, what would it be?
24601.
Oh, I
Your
love that
parole
you
is
went for-
complete. Do you know what that means?
Oh my God.
It means I'm free. No, you're not.
My favorite. I can't believe that you referenced a Javert line as opposed to a Valjean, because the most common way that people would know that is, who am I? 24601. And I'm purposefully making that sound bad. There's
Number
a great video.
24601.
Yep. That's my duties to the law. You have no rights. Come with me. 24601. Yeah, that's a bit of a dream role of mine. Anyway,
Yeah,
someday.
but yeah,
someday.
so that way I can remember it, but
so
it's not
funny. I just love that. 24601, by the way, is Valjean's prisoner number. Like,
Yes.
that's what that is.
But I couldn't have an 01 because that's
Yeah.
not how locker combinations
And by the
work.
way, that's not a spoiler. You find out about that very early.
Yeah, I think that's in the opening number. Second number. Second number?
I don't.
At the end of
I
the
would
day,
be
it's another
lying.
day older.
I
Or is that Oliver? No, that's Les Mis.
no, that's Les
Someone's gonna
Mis.
murder me.
That's Les Mis.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. At the end of the day, okay. I was born sterile fuckface. I went, oh shit, I forgot. This never came about in book 1, but it did come about in the blog post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So if you're not following the podcast, look at what you're missing. No more reasons to stay. Well, if you're not following page by page, I guess, the Substack. But yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do some of the lore drops there, because that does exist in the world, and it does make sense because most Sibyls are taken to the Sibyllary. You can't have non-Sibyls in the Sibyllary, so therefore, no babies.
Yeah.
And it also keeps it equitable between the Etherian races.
Okay.
That they come from their races. They are not bred within the Sibyls. It is always coming out of the people they are supposed to protect.
Okay.
So they are always attached to the community. They did not come from the Sibyls. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
So the Sibyls can never be for just the Sibyls' good, or they will not exist. They have to protect the races.
It's so interesting because, like, it does make me wonder, you saying that, so they have to protect the races. A parent's love being what it can and should be, how many Sibyls are there that are just absolutely unknown and actually go... Okay, so let's say that Ella's parents were still alive, okay? Let's say that they were able to avoid any kind of shit. Like, so they like avoid anybody coming after her, which I'm sure has got to be really, really difficult. But in a perfect world, is there anybody like Ella who is in a similar situation, who has not gone to the Sibyllary, that lives to an old age? Or do they just go crazy?
It's not...
Or do you know? Is that something that you even know?
You maybe you could make it.
Yeah.
If someone kept you from getting yourself killed consistently enough.
Oh.
If someone protected you from the visions consistently enough, they could keep you alive.
What would you say is the average lifespan of a Sibyl?
Under 50.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
like
actually...
making it to 30
that's
is
older
impressive.
than I thought. Yeah. I was going
like
to guess
if you
mid-30s.
hit 30, you are doing a great job. Like the 50s in the Sibyllary are the ruling class.
Okay, but
Like,
I mean
the
average
elders.
though. Average.
Oh, like 20s would be great.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. As you said 50, and I was like, holy shit.
Now, if they're in the Sibyllary, they tend to live longer.
Okay.
Because they're kept safer.
And they're not getting involved physically. Okay.
It's like a house cat.
Yeah.
House cats live longer.
Right. Domestic. Okay. Domesticated versus wild. That's so interesting.
So she's gonna have a shorter lifespan, but she's not trapped.
Right.
But if they protected her by keeping the visions minimal and by not letting her get herself killed, it keeps her alive.
Okay.
Which is what her parents were always trying to do. Stop the visions. Don't get hurt.
Right, which is what Kate is really trying to do now. Kate is not going by Ella's wishes. She's going by
She's going by wishes. What
Laurie wanted.
Yes. She is doing what she was told to do.
By Laurie, not by Ella. That really paints the falling out that they had so much more, right? Because I'm sure that Ella's not fully aware of that either. She's not thinking about that.
No,
she's thinking about Kate
doing
as a
what Kate was told. Like, was Kate's instructions was keep this bitch alive no matter what it fucking takes.
So she's keeping that bitch alive.
Doesn't care if she hates you. Yeah. Like, no, keep her alive, keep her sane, fuck the rest.
Yeah. Yep.
Whatever.
Yep. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the way that you used color in this vision. I do not recall this vibrantly, like a color being used quite this way in a previous vision.
It kind of was.
Okay.
In the Grand Clara deep dive.
That was the only place I could place it to.
Yeah.
The red, though, wasn't it? It wasn't a lot of red.
It was a lot of red. And okay. a lot of gold and silver and things. So like we're seeing sunlight, moonlight, and blood in Clara's visions is really what we're seeing.
Right. But like this though, like you are giving color to emotion. And that's very interesting.
It's not necessarily emotion, it's the actuality of it.
So then what is...
Haley is poison. Her tears are poison. Her sucking you back in. Like, she is pure fucking poison.
So she's trying to manipulate Evan through this. She's not actually
It doesn't matter if she's trying to manipulate him or not.
Okay.
This person that she will become is so poisonous. There is nothing you can do to be around her and have it be okay. She is that fucking toxic.
So then is the light that's darkening around Evan, is that literally, like, as we would say, you know, their soul, their aura is just been completely shrouded now. Like, it's broken.
Not necessarily broken, but completely inaccessible to her.
So the black is just for Haley, really. Well, not necessarily. It's going to affect others now. Yeah. Wow, that's deep, man. Because I was wondering, I was like, how the hell is this actually hurting her? Like, that is crazy. Which was bad because I had to say something of much, very big, much fucking mattering. That cracked my shit up.
That's a lot of drama before homeroom.
And by the way, that I'm assuming that she is actually already pregnant then, because this has come from the church. Yeah.
Cursed coitus.
So it really is cursed coitus. Fuck. Yeah.
Shouldn't have done it.
That's so sad.
They name him after Squash Corpse Carver.
So wait, did she, well, I'm guessing we'll learn about this more later, but I'm like, did she lie and say that, no, I'm totally on the pill?
I'm not going to tell you about this.
Oh, man. Like, because it can, either one of them can be the asshole in that situation, right? Because if she lied about, I don't want to say being protected, because I'm not talking about like, I am talking about contraceptives, but if she lied about not being able to get pregnant, or the fact that she was on the pill, that doesn't mean, not that we're scientists, but that does not make you foolproof. Okay. And I will go by this, even though I don't agree with being like teens should remain abstinent. I'm like, okay, sure, it's not going to happen. But abstinence is really the only foolproof way, unless you're Ella. Or somebody like her. But if she lied about that, or was he supposed to use a condom? You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like, I don't know which one of them is the asshole, is more the asshole in this situation. I'm assuming it's Haley, but I'm curious.
I feel like that's a big assumption you're making.
This feels very Jerry. I don't know, because you've painted her to be so manipulative. He is also very manipulative, though. So,
but they're also both dumb. They're also both
stupid
high
teenagers.
Schoolers.
Good point. You're right. I'm laying blame where it's probably just stupidity. Yeah, and raging hormones, which make you
and
stupid.
Also blaming the girl. What?
I don't know. I think it's the way that you have it written with the poison. That's where my brain went. Because I wouldn't. Like, no,
because
normally.
she is the more toxic person.
That's the thing. No, because normally, I promise you, normally, and I feel like you know this about me, I would absolutely be like, oh, yeah, you fucked up, dude. But in her situation, I'm like, I don't know. It's her character, not her gender, not her sex.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
No, that's a very valid point to bring up, too. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming you're not going to answer this, and that's fine. I didn't realize why there was an extra little "oh fuck, not good" going on in the back of my brain. What the fuck's that about?
Well, who's missing?
No, all right. So it is related to the fact that both Haley and Jason are missing. Mm-hmm. So she's like, "What the fuck happened to them?" Okay, cool. So I wondered if they were connected or if that was a different thing. She's got a lot of stuff going on, man.
No, that's really just like, wait, I made big shit. Uh-oh, did big shit go worse?
Did big shit go worse? And the answer is yes. So going back to the Sybil is sterile, what are the possibilities of what the Watcher could do with that? Like, oh man. Because just of what Ella says to the reader in this, of how it makes Sybil's perfect to be like a ruler's mistress, right? Because it's like, hey, spawn free fucking and fortune telling. That's great. Perfect. So is it now, does that up her value on the market? I'm curious. Like, and that's so screwed up to be talking about her in a human trafficking way, but that's exactly what happened at the end of book 1. She was, well, not human trafficking, Sybil trafficking, but still.
It is supernatural trafficking.
Yeah. Oh, it's so messed up. Okay. That is all I had. Did you have any final thoughts on the chapter before we go into Comic-Con?
I have lots of thoughts, but I am too tired to dare risk saying of them.
Well, I can because you could actually let something slip to me that shouldn't happen.
Yes,
yeah,
because
right. I was like, I can cut them out, but no,
because where we are balancing the end of this chapter links to more things I'm excited about. Mm-hmm. And I'm not good at always containing excitement. And I let one tiny thing slip once.
That stitch, yeah. Oh, to me? Yes, you did. Yes,
and I don't want to risk it again.
How about, okay.
So I don't want to risk it again. So I would like to remain quiet.
That's fine.
But I'm really excited about things. And I did tell you off mic, and now I am saying it on mic,
okay,
so that you can't next week say, oh, you didn't tell me.
Okay, all right.
That I do need music for the third perspective next week.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I'm totally going to remember this.
Well, now that it's in the episode, if you don't...
That's on me.
It's on you.
I'll just have to use my mouth trumpet.
Okay, I made up the music all through the minisodes of the off season.
Man, if y'all haven't listened to the minisodes of Lori's story, which was and other words for fun, you got to go check it out just for Megan's impromptu mouth music. It was great. Oh, it was so good.
Am I doing that during the off season again?
Yeah, 100%. That stays.
I love how I'm calling it the off season, like I'm in football.
Yeah, you are in football.
During my off season from the podcast.
Okay, so
I love how I was just like holding on to my pants like that's what football
player. Gotta hitch up my pants because I'm a cowboy.
I don't know what that has to do.
The only cowboys in football are in Dallas. Okay, that's how that works.
They're the ones with the cheerleaders. Their cheerleaders are so
I'm sorry,
good.
in pro football because wait, is it OSU that are also the Cowboys? Is that right? Because OU is the Sooners. Sorry, football fans, let me know. Anyway, I was like tangentially interested / forced to have football around me all growing up, so I don't really remember. So let's talk about some of the things that happened at the con, because there were some fun, like Stone by Stone. So Stone by Stone is a panel that Megan actually created for Central Florida Comic Con. And it was awesome. And this time it just was even better. It was so good. With the volunteer that we had out helping us with the making sure that we had like a time count, like, hey, you guys have 5 minutes before we have to start wrapping up. She was like, hey, do you guys want us to close the door? And Megan's like, hell no, leave it open. People are gonna hear how much fun we're having, and they're gonna come in. And they did. And it was great. So you have anything you want to talk about with Stone by Stone?
Well, no. Okay, so the basic premise of Stone by Stone is that it's a world building session, a world building workshop, where we kind of go through some anchor points of world building. For me, what I call anchor points, I'm meaning intrinsic decisions or decisions that you make that make all your future decisions intrinsically easier. So like deciding right away how much food your people have access to. So is it a fertile landscape? Is it an arid landscape? What's their relationship with food? Do they have birth control? What's the local level of literacy? Things like that are really going to decide like what's women's place in commerce, in marriage, in premarital sex. Like how consistent is information from person to person. How
don't give it all away.
All of the well, no, because that's like in the first 7 minutes of the workshop.
True. Yeah.
So we really just talk through like all of these anchor points and how you can start with some really small kind of micro decisions and how quickly you can build on those to create a really consistent and broad world.
Yeah.
So we spend about 10 minutes talking through different anchor points and how they affect things like weapons and wars and how to build your god systems and magic systems and all that kind of stuff. And then we create our own world and an opening to our own book. So we will decide like what kind of landscape we want, what kind of story we want.
Who's in charge?
Who is our ruler?
Yeah.
Where does their power come from? Is it money? Is it magic? Is it control of food, resources? Is it just where they have access to the land? Do they have the highest point? What kinds of, if we want any mystical races involved in it, like what do we want people's jobs to be? And then we go through casting our story. So we ended up having a dragon run society that a dragon princess was smuggling birth control to try and take the crown, and the dwarf was supplying minerals to help the human farmer grow up in the world by
started as a hero but became an anti-hero.
He became an anti-hero really quickly, but he was using minerals from the dwarves' mines and had learned to read his mentor's notebooks, and he was creating like psychedelic foods and all of these special foods, growing birth control that would work for the dragon's rulers, but then the elf fashion designer was after them, and it was really fun. The thing I love about running Stone by Stone is I've done it 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
But because it's like the first like 7 to 10 minutes is a slideshow and me talking through some points that are really helpful for learning how to develop your own world and are really creating a common language for all of us.
Sure.
And sort of laying out how we're going to be doing things so that people can understand how we're doing the process and really get excited to contribute. Yeah. Because I want the information I'm giving them at the beginning of the session to give them the confidence to raise their hand when I ask for an idea so that they know what I'm talking about. And so I had some people who you would swear from the way they were sitting in their chairs, there was no way
very turned in
fuck they were going to say anything. Yeah. And by the end of it, they were like, ooh, no. But the reason that she's doing that to her bisexual prince brother is because the first one to give birth becomes the ruler and he's completely incompetent. And it's like, yes, girl, that is perfect. So good.
I was like,
would not have expected her to say a single word. And she was like, there's evil machinations and it's going to destroy the throne. And I was like, yes, it is. This is brilliant. And then we had to go to stepped farming. And someone was like, well, no, the real power he would have is in crop rotation if we're talking about better products. And I'm like, you're not wrong. Yeah. That is absolutely right. Just having crop rotation would be badass. Yes, let's do that. Let's think on that. And so we moved into stepped farming because the dragons were living in a mountain. Yeah. And so by the time we had gotten through this 50-minute session, we had
50 minutes.
We had these tiered garden levels that each was run by this human farmer, and they're all competing to grow these better products because there is no one wanting to buy them anymore. And so they're starting to have their food rot because they have to be the very best. And it's like all of this drama and dragon drama, and it's so much fun, and we were just laughing.
It was great.
The thing is, if you're just there as like a participant, then you're just, it becomes like story building Mad Libs almost, where you don't have to necessarily have this huge idea of story where I'm like, okay, give me a name. What's our protagonist's name? And if the only thing you feel comfortable in is saying, I want our protagonist's name to be Bob.
Yep.
That is a great contribution too.
It's Bob, Bill, Joe, Shelley, Tom, and was that it?
Bob, Bill, Joe, Shelley, Tom, and there was one more. There was one more name in there.
Oh, and the bisexual dragon and the anti-hero farmer were in a relationship, right? No, they weren't. Oh,
it was the bisexual dragon and the fashion designer.
Elf Tom, who actually
was this dragon's sister's fashion designer. It was getting messy in the palace.
Megan was like, "Can you take notes?" And eventually, I was like, I can't keep up."
But it's so fun, and for the people who were really there for the world building. Those were my people who were like, no. If the problem is creating the best crops, then if he has crop rotation and extra minerals, if he has magic minerals.
Yeah.
So it kind of works for people.
Which leads to psychedelic plants.
That was just someone being like, they should be psychedelic, man. And I was like, great, psychedelic. So we have things from sort of every level of storyteller, from people who are like digging into like, no, this is how the throne passing goes, to like, I want psychedelic. And we were just laughing and having the best time.
And people were coming in.
And that's why I was like, leave the door open. We'll get more people.
And then I love how more people, because of that session, people came to all of your sessions yesterday because they were like, you're hilarious.
I just had some people like session hopping with me around.
It was great.
And we had the Escaping Amazon session was the other one that I ran. Yes. I also did one on like setting up local events where you can do signings. I had another one on writing. I participated in another one on romantasy, one in writing YA books and why adults love them.
Yeah.
I did one on being a Disney adult, one on how to train your dragon. Like I did all sorts of things. Yeah. But the other one that I ran was Escaping Amazon, which is sort of publishing 101.
Yeah, kind of.
Like
if you're
baby,
gonna not go through KU.
Like how to do the very first steps of indie publishing if you are not going to just trust Amazon with your whole life, which is really just me giving like, here are all the reasons that's a bad idea.
Right. And it is. I think that
especially now, with AI infiltrating publishing, if you are not already making a huge income off KU, don't put all your eggs in that basket.
Can we talk about the other session that you became a part of?
Which one?
As an audience member?
Oh, in a minute. But it's just that, and then giving them, providing a lot of resources that I like. So sort of telling them like, this is how I do things. Mm-hmm. Here are the resources, like Wide for the Win, which is an amazing group.
We love Wide for the Win.
Like Joanna Penn and the Creative Penn podcast, all of Joanna Penn's books, giving them like the newsletter resources, like listing like, here are all these learning tools that you have. Yeah. So here is the very, very basic tree of what I do. Here are the ways that I learned that and who I would point you to so that you can start doing this process yourself. And I got really, really great questions from people. And I loved how many people were really excited about finding out more about the resources that I was pointing them to. Yes. And who really were even asking more specific questions. Even if I don't have answers for them, like someone was asking me like about historic fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Resources, and I was like, I do not know anything about resources, but I know where some historic fiction authors hang out, and I can point you that way. Yep. I know how to find them.
Historical fiction sounds like a headache and a half.
It sounds, and those readers are brutal. But I love being able to do that. I love being able to point people in the right direction, and I felt like I really got to set some people up to make good decisions from the beginning and to give them resources to continue on a healthy publishing path. Yes. Where they can set themselves up to not have a career where Amazon randomly cancels their whole account for a fake copyright violation. Yeah. Or when they end up spending years fighting Amazon ads and not making any money because that's the only thing they know how to do. Yep. Like, I love giving people resources to skip those mistakes and find the better paths to follow sooner.
Yes. Yeah, I like that too. So what about the session that you crashed? Not crashed. We went and sat.
I didn't crash. I did not crash.
No.
I went. There was a session specifically on writing a book in a weekend using AI. And some of the tools that they were promoting specifically, and I know that all AI trains on web scraping.
Yes.
And I know that that is very problematic within the arts community.
Well, in fact, even New York Times is actually in a lawsuit with certain AI companies for scraping their articles. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are some AI programs that have specifically pirated books.
Yes.
Pirated books. And this person was promoting programs that have specifically pirated authors' books to help people write a book in a weekend. Yep. And I just very politely sat until people started asking questions. And then I asked him how he morally felt about profiting from selling books off of programs that had deliberately pirated authors' copyrighted works.
Including 36 of
my novels.
Yeah. And complete collections and short stories.
And that dude just didn't really talk for the rest of the panel.
Okay, so we talked a lot about Tampa Bay. What are your next events? Like, what's coming up? Oh my God, in 2 weeks, what's happening?
I will be up in National Harbor by DC doing Once Upon a Con, and then I am going to be at Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Right.
It's my first Dragon Con, so if you have Dragon Con advice, please do send it my way, because I am a little nervous.
Even if it's like best places to like grab a quick, inexpensive bite around that area. Because I know downtown areas, it's, you know, that's going to be a hard thing to find.
Oh, especially during a con where like everywhere's packed.
Yeah, no kidding.
So any food advice, definitely, yeah. I love how I'm like wringing my hands already. I'm like,
it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Do you even know how many panels you're on yet? Is it comparable?
In my tentative schedule, I have 11 events.
Oh, over 3 days?
Four
days. Okay. Well, I mean, that spreads it out a little bit better.
Yeah. So it'll be great. I'm really excited. It'll be great.
Yeah. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Our home for the Page by Page podcast is on Substack. If you want to support the podcast, you can follow, subscribe. Subscribe is the best button. If you can press that for us,
on
it helps
any
the
platform,
podcast.
not just Substack.
Yes, please. And do tell your friends about the Page by Page podcast. Word of mouth is also huge for us. So please spread the word.
And as always, thank you for reading.